I was house-sitting for my uncle that summer. He and my aunt were off on a 3-week trip to Finland. All I had to do was check the mail, water a few potted plants, and keep an eye on his Lakehouse. It was peaceful out there. The house sat low on the edge of a quiet lake in Wisconsin. Only 2 other homes were visible across the water. One belonged to a retired couple who kept to themselves. The other was a dark, sagging cabin, abandoned, they said, for years. The first couple nights passed without anything strange. I read on the deck during the day, fished off the dock around sunset, and fell asleep to the sounds of cicadas and loons echoing across the lake. But everything changed on the 3rd night. It was just after 1 a.m. I was lying on the dock looking up at the stars, trying to cool off in the summer heat, when I noticed a flicker of light across the lake. At first, I thought maybe the neighbors were up late, but then I realized it wasn't their house. It was the cabin, the supposedly abandoned cabin. The porch light blinked on, then a hallway light, then the upstairs bedroom window glowed with soft yellow light. And that's when a figure stepped into view. I froze. There had been no sound, no movement, no car, no boat, nothing. But someone was up there, standing in the window, not moving, watching. I bolted, ran back into the house, slammed the sliding glass door shut, and locked it. My hands were shaking as I texted my uncle. "Hey, someone's in the cabin across the lake." He replied 5 minutes later, "That's not possible. The power's been cut for years. No one's been in there since 2017. I didn't sleep that night. I kept peeking through the blinds. The lights stayed on, but now only the bedroom glowed, and the figure, still there, still staring, unmoving. When the sun finally rose, the lights blinked off, one by one. That afternoon, I drove around the lake. I had to see it for myself. I parked and walked up the overgrown path. The place was worse up close, windows boarded, porch sagging. The front door was padlocked shut with rusted chains, totally sealed. I found a crack between the boards and looked in. Inside, everything was coated in thick dust. The floor looked like it hadn't been touched in years. No footprints, no movement, no way anyone had been inside. And yet, that night, the lights returned. It was late June when I made the drive from Sedona to Flagstaff, Route 89A, a highway carved through Arizona's painted deserts and pine-covered cliffs. It was 110 degrees that day, not a cloud in sight. I'd left early, but the heat was already brutal. The landscape was so dry it shimmered, like the whole world was melting. About halfway through the drive, I saw someone. A man. He was walking in the ditch on the side of the road, half stumbling, shirtless, red as a lobster, arms swaying. I slowed down instinctively. He lifted one hand in a wave, not desperate, but slow, almost rehearsed. I pulled over and did a quick U-turn. I figured I'd at least offer water, but when I got back, he was gone. There were no tire tracks, no footprints, no cactus disturbed, no rocks displaced, just heat and silence. I got out of my car and called for him, scanning the desert, but there was nothing. It didn't make sense. The land was wide open. There was nowhere to hide. I drove on, trying to shake it off. 20 minutes later, I flagged down a state trooper parked at a rest stop. When I told him what happened, he just nodded, not surprised. "We get a few of those calls every summer," he said. "There was a hiker who died in that area 3 years ago, right after the solstice. He got lost and collapsed in the ditch. It took days to find him." Then he added, "Most people say he waves." He wasn't smiling when he said it, though. I tried to laugh it off. But that night, I dreamed of the man, sunburned, shirtless, eyes empty, standing on the side of the road, arm raised, frozen in that slow, chilling wave. There were 4 of us, me, my girlfriend, and 2 friends from college, looking to disconnect for a weekend. No phones, no distractions. We picked a remote campground in Mount Hood National Forest, Site 23, way at the back. The ranger at check-in made a weird face when we told him where we were staying. He said, "Don't get many campers out that far." Then, quieter, "Honestly, I didn't think it was still in the system." We laughed it off. The first night was perfect. No cell signal, Just trees, stars, firelight, classic camping vibes. But around 3 a.m. I woke up. There was a sound, the tent, the zipper. It was being undone, slowly. I sat bolt upright. My girlfriend stirred. We both stared at the flap. It was locked from the inside, but we could see it, moving. I grabbed my flashlight and unzipped it myself. There was no one there. Second night, same thing, same time, same sound. We started joking about forest cryptids or raccoons with a taste for horror. But on the third night, it got worse. We decided to stay up. Just before 3 a.m., we heard it again. But this time, we saw shadows, tall, thin, too tall to be human. They moved behind the tent like trees swaying, but it wasn't windy. We grabbed everything and left, didn't even pack, just shoved things in the car and tore down the road. When we returned the key, the ranger looked confused. "I didn't assign anyone to Site 23, he said. "That site was shut down in 2016. It's not on any map." I asked him what happened. He said there was an incident, but no details. We've never gone camping since, and sometimes when I hear a zipper, I still get chills.